and welcome to another edition of BCSN Sports Flash. Greg Rankin here with you tonight. And tonight we're going to have an opportunity to, I guess, talk what you might call the anatomy of a state championship, because we have a state champion in the 300 hurdles, Grace Winckowski from Clay High School, and now at University of Cincinnati, proudly sporting the Cincinnati Bearcat apparel there. And you're competing track and field at UC. So
yes,
thanks for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
So I remember your team did really well over there at the track championships, the track championships. That's always hard to say there, but at Findlay, and I interviewed you there, and I felt that your entire team, and you felt pleased with the way you would perform.
Yeah.
But at that particular time, were you thinking seriously about having a chance to really win a state championship?
No, it's never been ever like I never thought about winning like something so big like that. I knew that I was good at this, and I knew that it might be in the cards, but never have I thought about winning and holding that gold medal at the end.
Yeah.
So.
And there's so much to it. I mean, I think if somebody isn't around the sport a lot, they think it's a very simple sport. You go and you just run, right?
Yeah.
And then you run as fast as you can, and then if you beat everybody, you finish in first place. But there's so much inconsistency with that, where one day you're really on fire and you're setting your personal record, and then somewhat inexplicably the next time you don't do as well, and you really have to be in prime focus to be able to do that in order to do something like win a state championship.
Yeah, it's definitely a mental game, like all the way. My coach always told me about like make sure your head's in it. This is just as much mental game as it is a physical. Just stay with it, because we all have bad days and good days, and just one day that good day is going to come at the right time.
Yeah. You got a cheering section here. I thought it was an army coming up to the door when you guys arrived. I guess it was the Winckowski Army, and you got your parents and your siblings, and your dad was telling me that really at regionals, that's what sort of showed that, hey, you've got a real shot at this, because you did extremely well at regionals and had the best time in the state, I guess.
Yeah, my junior year, I actually was planning on coming in first, but I fell at the finish line against a girl that I was neck and neck with the whole time, and she was a senior too this year, so I came back and was so excited to run against her so I could prove to her that I was better than her. So
So she was the one that was pretty close to you at the wire there? You fell?
Yeah,
you just fell?
Yeah, I tripped over the last hurdle and crawled to the finish line.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
But I still got second, and that gave me an extra week to go to state.
Well, you guys must have really been separated from the rest of the field if you still got second after doing that. Well, that's great. A lot of stories don't end, with that fairy tale ending that you come back and actually win it. Now, how did you become a hurdler as opposed to a sprinter, or you did some relays too? But hurdling, that's a really specialized skill. Yeah,
my aunt used to go to Central Catholic here, so she was in the sport and was a good hurdler, and then my sister took it up, and then I just followed in her footsteps and took it up and started running and kind of loved it. So
we were talking after that track meet, there again, the track meet. And I don't think, we were talking about Cincinnati, that you'd been in contact with them, but you weren't certain that you were going to participate with their team at that time. So was it winning the state championship? Is that something that sort of drove home that, it might be nice to continue doing this, or what made you decide to continue it? I
didn't have my mind set on any school for track, or I was looking at schools for volleyball too, but when I won, I knew that this was something that I couldn't give up, and if I'm this good, then it must be for a reason. So I needed to continue what I'm doing and do it somewhere that I loved. So
did it turn out that maybe you didn't realize how good you were? I mean, when you win a state championship, that sort of defines it, whereas before you have to maybe think, am I this good?
Yeah.
So that sort of validated it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I still feel like sometimes I need to prove myself in this sport, even though that I did reach the top. I never thought I was going to get there, but reaching the top made me realize that this is something that I am good at, and I can be proud of something that I'm good at. So.
Well, and I guess you go to college, and that's what you do. You prove yourself all over again against people that were probably state champions or very close to that themselves. How are you finding the transition to the collegiate level? I'm sure the training is a lot more arduous, and even what you had to do to be great in high school, you've got to even exceed that to do well in college.
I never would have guessed the things that we did in high school would have been easy, considered easy now. It's just every day is another hard day, but I'm definitely improving, and I can see that. So my coach knows what she's doing. If I listen to her, then it's a good day.
Yeah. So what about just the routine that you have to go through? Because everybody talks about how there's school, that's a full-time job, and the commitment level at Division I in particular in athletics is another full-time job. Is it difficult to kind of balance everything?
Some days it is, some days it isn't. I just need to remember to relax and stay focused of everything that I am putting myself through, and there is an end to this. But it's definitely hard getting up at 7 a.m. and 3 days a week, going to bed at 12 after I studied for 3 hours or did homework, and had 2-hour practices here, but it's definitely worth it.
Not much time left over for social life and all that?
Yeah, I get to sit 20 minutes in my day.
Well, hey, who can ask for more than that, right?
Exactly.
And you're not just taking any kind of major. You're in a pretty serious academic discipline too. What are you studying?
Chemical engineering. It is not easy at all. The classes right now, they're not too much to handle, but they're definitely a challenge. So, I'm balancing everything as best as I can.
Mm-hmm. Do you miss playing volleyball?
I do. I play secretly. I go to the gym sometimes with my friends and play, but
there might be some cross-training value there, right?
Yes.
For hurdling and all that. Clay, you played a couple of years with your sister Lydia. That must have been fun.
Yeah.
And Clay always has really competitive teams. I've always liked them because I think they play the game well. Fundamentally, they play the way it's really meant to be played without the benefit of 6'4" players in the front row, and you really have to be sharp and on your toes to compete with teams that do have those things, and Clay's always done that well. Yeah,
in my senior year I got to play with my 3 best friends, so that was always great to have them by my side, but other than that, it's missed, but yeah. It was great while it lasted.
Oh, you have to, I guess, at some point you got to sacrifice something, right? And so how's your team shaping up? Do you think you have a chance of doing well at Cincinnati as a team and individually this year?
My team is so great. I couldn't, we're pretty much a family. I love them. They're my best friends, my sisters, my brothers. But individually, I think I'm overall in the top 2 for 400 hurdles, but I won't be running the 100 hurdles in college, so just mid-distance hurdles.
A little more specializing when you get to that level. Yeah. All right. Well, to be one of the top ones already, that certainly says a lot. And you won a state high school championship. Who knows? Maybe you could even win something bigger in college at Cincinnati. Well, certainly wish you the best of luck, and thanks for being with us here tonight.
Thank you.
That's Grace Winckowski, who was a state champion in the 300 hurdles last year for Clay High School, and now at the University of Cincinnati with their track and field program. Greg Franke saying so long for another edition of BCSN Sports Flash.